I'm Tony Sklar with bnetTV. We're here at the 4G World Conference in Chicago. I am speaking with the Yankee Group's Mr. Terry Waters. How are you today, sir?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, sir.
Great.
Very well. Great to have you on the show. For our seasoned veterans of bnetTV viewership, why don't you give us a great overview of the Yankee Group and why you're owning this conference?
So Yankee Group is the preeminent research and advisory firm focused on helping companies in and around the mobile ecosystem profit through the trends and dynamics of mobility and the mobility revolution. 4G and the evolution of 4G networks is a critical underpinning of that enablement that drives higher speed connectivity, ubiquitous connectivity, drives access to all sorts of content being delivered via the mobile cloud and mobile cloud capabilities, whether that's application services, music, whatever kinds of content that we're looking, and then the wonderful devices and smartphones that we're using. So the combination of those three things are really enabled through this whole mobility revolution, and 4G is mission critical to do
so, throughout our travel, we and I just had a chance to speak off camera regarding some of the bnetTV travels over the last quarter here, and we came across quite a number of Yankee Group analysts at a number of these conferences. Why is it important for the analysts to be there from a global perspective, and is that Yankee Group's position now is just the strict technology play, or are there other areas?
No, Yankee really focuses around, so the core of what we do is really around understanding the dynamics of the mobile ecosystem and how it's changing both suppliers and critical enablers, whether that be the underlying technology firms, the systems integrators, the service providers, the device players, the application providers, all the folks that are supplying capability to drive what we call the connected experience. And then all of the different services that enable, whether that be mobile payments and transactions, whether that be access to mobile content and services, whether that be the whole enablement of social capability through mobility, all of those components are mission critical. But understanding that, where Yankee is really focused is a couple of key places. One is understanding the mobile user, whether that be at work or home or on the go, and what are their attitudes, what are their behaviors, what are their usage patterns. So really getting into that and understanding those dynamics. And then how do the technology trends and technology capabilities enable that experience with the end user to be really dynamic and exciting. And then finally, what are the business models that different players in the ecosystem are using to drive that experience with key end users, whether they're at work, at home, or on the go.
What makes Yankee Group analysts, or what makes the Yankee Group better than its competitors in this space?
Great question. So it really is our focus. It's really, we are a specialized research and advisory firm focused on the mobility revolution. Yankee's been around for 40 years, living and breathing and advising clients in and around the telecommunications, wireless, and mobile space. So as that evolution has occurred, we've been focused and right at the center of that, advising clients on where to go, what to do, who are the winners and losers going to be. And that's really on a global perspective. So we understand what's going on with service providers around the world. So whether it's Telstra, whether it's Telefonica, whether it's Oi, whether it's AT&T, whether it's Sprint, what's going on, how are they driving great experiences with their clients and their end users, and then what's happening with the technology and where's the technology going that underpins that. What's happened in the last several years is what's developed is this over-the-top environment, which is all sorts of different products and services and capabilities that are being driven in and around the network and enabled through new players in the ecosystem.
So first of all, I also want to say congratulations on putting together such a dynamic conference in the right space. Obviously from a bnetTV perspective, we live and breathe in this particular ecosystem, so I can talk endlessly on many different facets of it, and I can get overly enthralled in it. But I want to hear from your perspective, what are some of the top trends that you see coming out of this conference that are exciting to you?
Well, I think one of the trends that is actually going on at an event we're running upstairs today, one of our pre-show summits, is around customer experience, which is really focused on how can service providers provide a great customer experience, and what are the dynamics of that customer experience, both from a technology point of view, hardware, software point of view, but more importantly, how do you link together everything from the brand to your call centers, to your websites, to your sales force, and really provide a unified, great experience for your clients. We're seeing the service providers move in that direction and really leveraging that. to provide leverage 4G technologies, as well as the breakout around devices, whether it be tablets or smartphones, and ultimately providing the end user, whether at work or home or on the go, with the right content in the right place, for the right application, for the right usage. So really doing that in a very dynamic way.
So I mean, there's so many different facets to 4G.
Yep.
I mean, it's really all encompassing. Is this strictly a North American perspective, or are we still looking globally from this conference point of view?
From this conference point of view, it very much is a global event, and we will have many global players here. I would say from a service provider point of view, it does have a North American focus to it, but we will bring service providers from Asia, service providers from Europe, service providers from Latin America will attend. We're also looking to expand the event. So next year we'll be bringing the event to Asia and launching a 4G World event in Singapore in April. So we're very excited about taking the show on the road, if you will. We're seeing enormous deployments. Some 200 operators in 81 countries around the world are deploying 4G networks. Some 50 devices will be 4G enabled. So we're at the beginning of a very, very significant revolution as it relates to connectivity and speed and usage around the world.
I want a brief comment from you from your perspective, or Yankee Group's perspective, on, as you just said, this is we're at the very beginning. This is a very immature marketplace,
Yep.
so to speak, because technology can shift on a dime,
Right.
and new things come to market all the time. So, is this conference, is this ecosystem what's going to shift the globe out of the recession that we're in?
Well, that's a big statement, but
I
would say
it is a big statement. It is
shifted out of the. There's a lot of issues with the recession, but as it relates to technology, we're continuing to see significant spending around technology, and I think you're seeing the IT and communications sector be very healthy around the world. Not contracting, but rather expanding. So whether it's the service operators investing in 4G, whether it's the proliferation of device players, whether it's the content players, the banking institutions, the social players, what's happening in Silicon Valley in and around mobile and social is just an incredibly dynamic situation. There was a great article in yesterday's New York Times. Tom Friedman, who I'm sure you know, who's written a new book, talked specifically about the dynamics of what's going on from Wall Street to Silicon Valley, and just the difference from the retrenchment of the financial system and really looking at the dynamics of that to come up with a new way forward, whereas technology in Silicon Valley is just flourishing. And I'm seeing that as I travel around the world. Just people are really looking for technology to play a great catalyst going forward to drive new innovations, new usages, new business models, new transformation.
New business models, new automotive, healthcare, as you already mentioned, banking, shipping, RFID, NFC.
Well, it's a great example. I mean, just so M2M, right?
M2M.
The whole world of connected devices.
Sure.
Whole track here at the event, very dynamic. Looking at M-Health, looking at telematics. Lots of exciting activity going on there. We've got a specific track within the conference with the NSC forum that's around mobile payments, mobile transactions, and how NSC is going to enable that, mobile commerce. We've actually got Sama Bidier from Google is going to be the keynote speaker, so a lot happening in that space. Very, very exciting.
Terry, thank you very much for taking the opportunity to speak with us here.
Absolutely.
So congratulations on a fantastic conference. Show floor opens tomorrow. It's going to be really exciting. I hope to have you back again soon.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Excellent. I've been speaking with Terry Waters, President and CEO of the CEO, not President. Yes, both President and CEO of the fantastic Yankee Group. I am Tony Sklar here at the 4G World Conference in Chicago with bnetTV.